McCook's Mr. Bill, it's an honor to have you here. That was quite a show they put on yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. Numerous mistakes were made by the conservative protesting after an election that there were games played when everybody knows full well that there are games played in every election. Enough to change the outcome? Perhaps. But once the game's over, it's too late. Republicans could have, throughout the years, prepared and had people ready to go in there and protect the validity of the ballot to make sure there were no games played. Absolutely, they could have, because they didn't. Trump lost, but he lost it in many other ways. A lot of it was his tweeting and the foolishness and the hot-headed that he had and the rhetoric, which was ridiculous. I know that was his game plan. At the same time, he could have toned it down and he'd be president yet. And he could have made other moves. But the Democrats had made it very clear they were going to destroy him, and they were successful with the help of the media. But after the game is over, protesting 100,000 peacefully, they had the right. But you're protesting after the game, unlike the left protested all summer long and burnt cities down, looted, and killed cops. That speaks high, very high, of the conservative movement, that no one was killed on other than the cops killing one of the conservatives. Keep that in mind, though. At the end of a game, complaining about the game is not how to do it. And every game, whether it's an election or perhaps a football game or a softball game even, there are going to be bad calls. Guess what? You have to live with them. You have to live with bad calls. This very possibly was a bad call and got Joe Biden in there. Looking at how he ran his election, which was almost zero compared to what Trump did, you couldn't conceive that Trump would lose. But be that as it may, we move on. We survived Obama and his Obamacare that raised my personal health insurance $800 a month for a lot less insurance, and a higher deductible, massively higher deductible. We lived through it. And we lived through Obama putting men in girls' bathrooms. Not happy, but we lived through it. So what will Joe do? Well, rumor says he's going to take your guns. If he does, you always have a rock. You always got rocks. And rest assured, a rock in your pocket is free, no license. If they take your rock, you go pick up another rock. It's that simple. And at 50 miles an hour, and a 12-year-old girl can throw a rock at 50 miles an hour, that's equivalent to being hit in the head with by a professional boxer. So even if they did take guns, we would be able to defend ourselves. You can look at the prisons and see that. No guns allowed in there, or any weapons. And yet there are more weapons in prison than is the average for the general population. Yeah. So we'll find a way. We'll find a way. But if you want this country to be more conservative, you have to look at what the other side is doing. And a great example of that is Hollywood. I said Hollywood. If you don't worship their ideology, you don't work. Actor after actor has said that because they were conservative, they were blackballed. They can't work. And so, those in conservative businesses should target and hire only conservative people, like-minded people. If it's okay for Hollywood to do it, it's okay for everybody else to do it. But you are 70 million strong. And you can convince this world, if you want a job with us, you're going to have to be conservative. You're going to have to say America first, stop foreign aid while we're so deep in debt, and to always, if there's extra money, give it back to the taxpayers. It's their money. And God help the person that thinks they're going to take Social Security away from the people that paid into it all their lives. You guys have a good day.